Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. This is going to be something a bit different today. I've never done anything like this. I'm essentially going to be doing a sort of paranormal investigation in my own home. Now I know I've always told everyone that, I don't believe in this type of thing, but that's more out of embarrassment and not wanting to admit things, because I definitely have experienced things, some of which I've told you, some of which I haven't, and some that are happening lately and a lot. But I'm going to have the help of MetallicrealitE, and she will be putting on clips, because I'm going to need to be in one room and then move to another. So while I'm moving to another, we'll cut to MetallicrealitE. She can play clips while I'm taking this camera up into different rooms to investigate the stuff that's going on. So what has been going on? Well, as I mentioned, I've never really told anyone this because, well, I don't know, I sort of find it embarrassing. I sort of don't believe in it, but if it's happening, isn't it? What more can you say than that? But, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go back to a long time ago, when we first moved into this house. And I've never admitted this, because I don't know whether I want it to be true or not, but someone before we lived in this house did die in this house. And I've never really spoken to my mum and dad about it, because I always found it quite, well, it's not a pleasant thing to talk about, put it that way. But supposedly someone might have hung themselves in my attic, in my loft that we call it, and there was a rafter that used to go across. I'll show you this when I go up there. There was a rafter that used to go across just above the hatch, and supposedly, well, I think the reason my dad took that down was because of that. I wouldn't want that there. And over the years, weird stuff has happened. I've heard things, seen things potentially, shadows, figures, felt things in the room watching me. It's quite scary stuff, but I don't think you want to admit it. I don't want to admit it anyway. So, seeing as this is happening, I thought, why not try and sort of document it and, let's see. So, some of the things I have done, I have put some CCTV in different rooms at different periods. We'll be able to show you that. And, well, there's more to it than meets the eye at this point. So, as mentioned, I will be going around the rooms, investigating. But what has happened? So, there's been multiple weird events. Noises, weird voices, stuff like that. And I did find a letter in my house when I was, well, you'll see the footage soon, because what we'll do, when I go into the loft to explain what happened, I'll go over to MetallicrealitE and she can play the CCTV and I'll get in the loft while that's happening. I'll tell you what, actually, let's do that now. So let's go over to MetallicrealitE and she will play the clip of what happened in the attic recently, and while that is playing I'll be able to get up there quickly and actually tell you up there. Right, see you in a minute.
Hey everyone, welcome. As Blake said, I'll be helping him tonight introducing the clips that you've sent in. I haven't seen any of them yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you nutters have produced. Now, for Mike's CCTV, shall we see just what happened in his attic?
Fucking piece of shit. You're terrible fucking thing. Thank you, Metallic. Appreciate that. Right, so we're in the attic now, in the loft. And this is where I found the letter. And yeah, very... You'll hear the full content of the letter later. I didn't want to tell you at this point, but from what I've read of it, it's very similar to what was going on. And from what I can gather, well, I say gather, it, you know, there's some info that's just guessed and some, oh, I don't know, because of the weird shit that's going on. But in this loft there used to be a rafter that used to go, you can't see this, but it was straight across here, basically right above the hatch. And for some reason when we moved in, my dad took it down. And now I believe, well, as I say, I don't want to believe it, but maybe someone did kill themselves in here. Someone was hung in here anyway. Yeah, and I'm now experiencing very, very strange phenomenon. Breathing, rooms going very, very cold, weird noises, all of the weird sort of horrible stuff that you can sort of justify it in your head that it's not what it is. But especially if you're like me, I don't believe in these things, but something seems to be going on. Let me show you around the loft quickly, just so you can see. I'll slowly walk you around. Just realised I'm going to get trapped now. Didn't realise that. Don't worry, there's not anyone there. So that's the sort of basic story of the loft. You've seen the letter, you know, the very basic story that something might have happened up here, but I've never known. I've never really asked my mum and dad, because I don't even know if they'd want to tell me anyway. Would you? You know, I know I'm an adult, but yeah. So what I'll do now, I'll hand back to MetallicrealitE in a second, and then while she's introducing another clip or whatever she'll do, I'll be getting back down and I'll be somewhere else anyway. Right, see you in a couple of minutes, or it might be more than a couple of minutes, but see you soon.
Welcome back, viewers. I have copies of the letters that Mike found. I'll be reading them a bit later on. I'm going to check in with Mike now though, just, you know, while he's playing. I'll see you all in a bit.
Right, I'm back in my room now. So before we go on to the letter contents and stuff like that, I thought I'd tell you some kind of phenomenon that was happening in here. So there's been some stuff happening here recently. I've had strange feelings of being watched. The room would go very cold, and just didn't feel right, basically. And this doesn't happen all the time, but it seems to be getting worse now. Yeah. So due to setting up the CCTV and that, I did actually put a camera in here to monitor myself one night, and well, we'll play that now.
Oh wow, Mike, it sounds like stuff's getting really spooky over there. I'll play that file now.
Was there something there? I couldn't really tell. It appears like there's something is in the corner, but is there? As I say, I've had a lot of strange feelings in this room lately, feeling like I'm being watched. The room would be absolutely freezing, weird voices, and saying that, I don't know about you, but I've been hearing some the whole entire time I've been streaming. Weird noises. Have you heard them? I have. I've heard quite a few. They seem to be getting a bit worse, to be honest. Just listen for a bit, see if you can hear anything that sounds unusual. See? It's definitely weird noises. Right, we'll go over to Metallic again so you can introduce the next bit of footage.
Okay, Mike, it's time to keep constant comms open now. I need to know that I can hear you at all times. Once I press play on this video, then you call me, right? And then you keep your phone in your pocket, or at least on you at all times, and then I'll be listening in. All right, okay, viewers. There you go.
Can you hear that noise now? I'm sure that's coming from downstairs. Let me get the... Let's go and investigate. Right, hang on. What is going on? Fucking hell. Nothing in there. Fuck's sake. That is fucking weird. There's nothing in there at all. Bastards. Right, I'm going to go back upstairs. That's creeped the fuck out of me. Sorry about the camera moving like this, but you know, if I'm going to be live, not a lot I can do about it if it's while I'm doing stuff. So, oh, I tell you what, I should have just gone straight back to Metallic. So I'll tell you what we'll do. we'll go over to Metallic now. Play the next clip.
Alright, Mike, just give me 1 second, I'll get these on and I'll be back to you, okay? I'll see you all in a few. The video's on, Mike. Mike, you alright?
You'll have to excuse this room a bit, some of the kids have been playing in here. But I thought I'd come into my front room to tell you some of the stuff that's happened in here over the years and recently. So I think one of the very first strange events I ever had was in here. Many years ago. The smoke alarms would go off for no reason. And when I say no reason, it was almost like a warning. I'm sure I didn't smoke at the time. And also this happened to multiple people, which makes it even weirder. So, in this room, sat just there, I don't know if, yeah, you can't quite see the chair, but sat there, or maybe on that sofa, I can't remember, but it was before we had that actual sofa. And just as I was about to fall asleep, the smoke alarms would go off. Beep, 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 beep. Just as you was just about to nod off, and it was... Is that weird? I don't know. If it happened twice in one night though, I think that's weird. And if it happened to multiple people, that's a bit strange. And then the other one was when I was in my kitchen. I'll probably show you this from a different angle later after we've gone back to Metallic and she can do that. But I've seen what... Well, I've always said it wasn't what it was. Again, I'm a skeptic, you know, I don't believe in these things, but, you know, when it happens, what can you say really? But I've seen a shadow run out of this room at me, enough to make me go, oh, like that, because it felt like, it looked like it was running straight at me. But then it sort of disappeared as it came to me, and then I sort of felt alright, if that makes sense, because there was nothing there anymore. So, I don't know, but those are some of the things that happened in the past. Things have been moving in this room lately. You know, I say that, there's kids in here a lot playing, but stuff seems to go missing in this room. Or you can put, say, a book down, turn around, and then when you look, the book is now over here. So, now that is, yeah. Things move, weird sounds, get sounds coming from the fireplace, weird noises. And also the kids have started drawing weird pictures, which I don't like at all. In fact, it drives me mental. But this is one of the drawings they drew, and I literally have no idea what this even is. Like you'll see what it is, but I don't know what it's supposed to be, who it's supposed to be. But that is definitely someone with blood red eyes and a knife in their hand. It's dripping blood. And that was drawn for me by a 4-year-old. That's not normal, is it? Tell you what we'll do now. I'll move out of this room and I'll go back upstairs, but we'll just stay on camera for a minute. Yeah, right. We'll go over to Metallic in a minute, hang on. I'll just shut this up so I don't need to go in there anymore. We'll go back upstairs for a bit. Oh, fucking hell. What the fuck was that? Fucking Christ. What's going on? Fuck. There's fucking shit everywhere. Oh, it's freezing in here as well. Fucking hell. God. There's literally fucking shit everywhere now. This room was completely clean a second. Oh, as you saw. I don't know what to do. Fucking hell. Oh, it's just getting worse now. I don't know what to do. Let's go back to Metallic for a bit. I'll try and regroup somewhere.
Jesus, Mike, that wasn't spooky, that was plain bloody scary. Make sure you keep all your exits clear in case you have to leave the house in a hurry. Hey viewers, I'm sorry I don't have much banter for you tonight. The situation is much more severe than I'd expected. I'm going to have a chat with Mike. I'll see you all in a bit.
I've moved into the kitchen now, because this is another place where some of the weird events happen. Often, you can actually hear voices coming from the sinkhole. We'll leave the camera on here for a while, see what we can hear. But many times I've heard what sounds like voices coming from the hole. That's just come out of the... Can't see this, but the blood has just come out of the overflow. Stinks as well. Absolute disgusting smell. I'll tell you what now, we'll go back to MetallicrealitE. She can start reading out the first letter.
I'll now read the copy of the first letter that Mike sent me. I'm sorry I haven't had time to read these in advance. It's been quite a busy build-up. Right, here we go. Wednesday, the 31st of October, 1984. To whom it may concern. If you found this letter, I know that the evil is still present within these walls. I have experienced some terrifying and unnatural occurrences in recent hours, and I'm in fear of my life. At first I believed there was an intruder in my home, hearing footsteps, coughing, a deep unearthly voice speaking in an unknown language. I felt as though I was being watched by hateful, unseeing eyes. The clock stopped at 10:30 p.m, and shortly after that all hell broke loose, banging, slamming doors, lights flickering, and the TV changing channels of its own accord, whilst I watched, frozen, as the dials moved by an invisible force. It became so cold I could see my breath as if it were the depths of winter. I don't know how I escaped. I wrote this with hands still trembling and heart still pounding. I will return to the house one last time to hide this letter, together with the journal entry that I found that explains the origin of this presence. When daylight finally arrives, I'll return to do this and leave that house for the last time. I will remain hidden until then, and hope that this and the ancient pages that I believe saved my life will also save yours. For the love of God, run! Bloody hell, Mike. I'm really starting to get a bit worried now. I'm wondering if the apparent suicide was something more sinister. Maybe he didn't hang himself after all. Please don't go back up in that attic.
Cleaned my hands now. I don't know why I wanted to put my hands in that shit. Fucking stinks and it's disgusting. So, you've now heard Metallic actually read out the letter, and well, now you know. I'm pretty sure what that person described is exactly what's going on now. It's in the same house, and I now suspect that that's the person who killed themselves, or was killed. We don't know at this point, but it does seem like there's definitely more to it. I don't know, it's pretty fucked up, but the things they described in that letter is exactly happening to me now. And it's fucking terrifying. Tell you what we'll do. I need to regroup for a little bit. I'm going to go back to Metallic for a little bit, and then we'll come back to me when I'm ready.
I'm going to get back to Mike now. I probably should play start, shouldn't I? Hold on, bear with me. You alright, Mike? I'm back again now.
No, I'll be alright. I'll be alright. They're still doing it now. Still banging now. It's getting worse. I'm gonna have to have a look. No, don't worry. I'll be alright. Hang on. I'll call you back in a second. Hang on. Can you hear that? Fucking hell! Right. I have to put the camera up first. There's nothing up here. Well, it doesn't look like it anyway. That was the hatch. It was banging like that just before I come out, and then when I looked, it stopped. Oh, it's freezing cold up here though. I don't see anything up here. I hope not anyway. But it feels, I don't know. No, it's alright, there's nothing up here. There's nothing up here, don't worry about it. I'll be alright. I promise you, there's nothing up here at all. There's nothing. No, it's alright, don't worry, I wouldn't risk it. But I'll tell you what, you read out the last letter, the journal. Read out the journal, and I will get back to you in a minute. Well, when you're done anyway. Right, I'll send it over to you, hang on. I'm going to go back to Metallic now. She's going to read out this journal entry that we got with the letter. Might explain things even more to you then. And I'm going to have a look around. Right. I'll be alright. I promise you, there's nothing up here at all.
Hi viewers, as you saw earlier, Mike found this envelope with that earlier letter that I read in it, together with some pages from an old journal. I'm just going to put this down because I don't need it right now. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll read out this journal entry, and apparently this is going to tell us what is actually going on. Right, so Thursday, the 30th day of October, in the year of our Lord, 1884. Today, dear journal, I entertained a very unusual guest. He had the appearance of a tired traveller, belying his rather grand attire and dignified air. He was clearly a man of significant substance, but beneath his authoritative gaze, I felt his frayed weariness. It was mid-afternoon, and I was tending the children in the garden, making the most out of the bright autumnal day. They were carving out demonic faces from some of the larger turnips we have grown this year, in preparation of tomorrow night's celebrations. I had already polished the old horseshoe on the front door to ensure us of no ill fortune. I did this morning whilst I was completing my chores, which I did today with a sense of bubbling excitement. I do so love this time of year. I talked with the children about all the parlour games we will play when the whole family arrive this All Hallows Eve, distracting them from their grumbling bellies and bad memories on this day of fast. They are mainly looking forward to the feasting. Well, this goes on a little bit, just bear with me. It's a bit difficult to read as well as proper old-fashioned writing. Right, hold on. Here we go. My strange visitor strode up the path as if he belonged here, like he was returning home after a long trip. I ushered the children indoors, slightly wary of the unexpected stranger. He approached me with an open and sincere smile, held out his hand and introduced himself as Mr. Thatcher. His smile seemed to wipe away the weariness, but didn't quite reach his eyes. It was a toothy smile. I felt I only noticed this because of his startlingly white and perfectly even teeth, which struck me as odd considering his advanced years. I would say he was at least 65 years old. After I introduced myself, he explained he was once resident here, hence his apparent familiarity with the property, and asked if I could tour the garden with him and, if my husband was at home, perhaps also the house, as it was the anniversary of his beloved wife Margie's death 40 years ago. She had died in childbirth, along with their long-awaited and much-anticipated first child. My heart instantly opened to him, as today is also the anniversary of my dear husband's untimely death, now 3 years past. I felt moved to confide that I had indeed no husband from which permission could be sought, as he too was no longer of this earth. Mr. Thatcher took once more my hand, and as I looked upon his sad, sympathetic countenance, I must confess my heart fluttered in a way that has been dead to me for many years. A flicker of expression crossed his face too quickly to define, and my blushes settled into a sense of calm and ease. I bade the children return to the jack-o'-lantern carving once more, with a warning to be cautious of the sharp implements that they were using. Mr. Thatcher and I took a turn around the pretty garden, him indicating various spots where his dearest Margie had nurtured her thorny roses here, her hive garden there, with all the love and attention that belonged to the unborn children her barren body could not produce for her. His exuberant joy at seeing the growth of our cherry tree was a delight to behold, and to discover that it was his own hand that had tended the fragile seedling with care and dedication, so that it was now stood strong and stable in my garden, as if it had always been. This goes on a bit. Hold on. Let's get to the point, love. I haven't got time for this, I'm afraid. Here we go. Looks like they're getting on quite well. As he gratefully sipped at his teacup, a shadow crossed his face. He put his cup down carefully and reached into his pocket. The paper that he withdrew, he handed to me. It had writing with the appearance of a stanza written on it in a foreign tongue. The words seemed to shimmer and sway. Slowly they seemed to resemble familiar words. I will copy it down here. Oh dear. Right, I'm going to attempt this. Neural blab yelnuts nile remrandic eleven that'd be click rock knots we nede unotra nalimacan dolora emot sourgourd celia hitach druade rehectat telegram rojan nohochri norimak dividayan asenir. Oh God. Okay, right, look, I'm really sorry. I think I'll have to practice saying this for a bit. So I'll just grab my tablet and I'll attempt to get that gibberish a little bit more sensible sounding. Okay. Right. Niwa de lab, yelt nuts, nila rembarak, 11, lika kruka notsu, nedde, yonokata, nalimakan, delora imok, salgoda, cilia, hitak, truada, relaktak, teragram, Rojam, Nohoga, Noremak, Divada, Yam, Aseret, Noshtigoch, Sirob, Surut Zil, Zanus, Ixia. Ni would love, Yelt nuts, Nila rememberat, Eliven, Like kaperchach, Nete, Zil, Zanus, Ixia. Ni would love, Yelt nuts, Nila rememberat, Eliven, Like kaperchach.
Lika kruka notsu, nedde, yonokata, nalimaka, delora imok, salgoda, cilia, hitak, truada, relaktak, teragram, rojam, nohoga, noremak, divada, yam, Aseret, Noshtigoch,